Hey everyone, welcome to my channel. In this video tutorial, we will learn how to crochet this slouchy hat. I made it in two sizes. One, which you are seeing now in maroon, is a bit longer and this one is a little bit shorter, and I made it with two different colors. This hat size is perfect for both men and women. As you can see, I have 2 inches for the ribbon, and around the hat is almost 11 inches. For the longer slouchy hat, which is in this color, I have almost the length of the final hat is 11 inches. And it's perfectly a good size for women and men, as I already said. The smaller one that I made is the final size is 10 inches, but the round of the hat is the same as the other one. For the purpose of this project, I used 2 different colors. You always can choose what the colors that you like, no matter what brand you wanna use. I'm not sponsored for these brands. I'm just showing what color and what brands I used and how it looked after all. Also, I have 2 different sizes for the hook. One bigger, which I used for 5mm, and one is a little bit smaller, which I use for 5.5mm. To start the project for the ribbon, I used a smaller hook. I start with a slip knot and add 8 chains. This 8 chains actually shows you the length of the ribbon, so if you want a longer ribbon, you can always add more chains here. So as you can see here, these 8 chains give me the length of the previous ribbon, which is almost 2 inches. Now to start working on the ribbon, we are going to add single crochets only on back loops of each stitch. At the end of the row, add 1 single chain and then turn your project. Then again, start with the same pattern, a single crochet, only on the back loops. At the end of each round, especially in first rounds, it's better to count your chains to make sure you're not skipping any of the stitches, and you'll stick with that 8 chains that we had at the first. Keep repeating the same pattern, single crochets on the back loops. At the end of each row, don't forget to add that extra chain. That chain will give you more space. And after you have that chain, turn your work and then repeat the same pattern. This is how it looks after a few rounds that I crocheted. So we want to continue the same pattern as long as we reach our desired lengths, which is in here. As you can see, it's almost 18 to 22 inches. This makes it perfect for almost all adult sizes. If you want it a little looser, you can continue, add more rounds. If not, you can size it with your own forehead or anyone else's that you're making this for. And then if you're okay with the size, you can continue in attaching the two sides together. We want to make sure to connect stitches that are in front of together to make sure that we are not missing any of those stitches. So for myself, to make it easier, I added a few stitch markers for myself. But if you're okay with what you're doing, there is no need to attach these markers. Just join the two stitches together using this method that you're seeing in this video. Don't forget to add that extra chain here. To join the stitches together, insert your hook under both two stitches and simply grab your yarn and pull it through the two stitches. So simply I'll repeat this all across the line here to attach the two sides of the ribbon together. At the end of the attaching, you'll see how it looks, and this is the other side of the project. Feel free to flip your work so the side that we were working on could be the inside of your work. For the body of our work, we will switch to the bigger hook here. To start our first round, chain 1, and then we want to skip our first stitch and work on the second one. So add 1 single crochet here and a double crochet to the same stitch. Then again, we are going to skip the next stitch and we are going to add 1 single crochet in the next stitch, and again 1 double crochet in the same stitch. So 1 single crochet, 1 double crochet in the same stitch. Keep repeating this pattern. So we are skipping 1 stitch, adding 1 single crochet and 1 double crochet in the next stitch. This would be our workaround for the first round. I'll add a few more stitches here just to keep repeating it and you can see it more. But after that, I will finish this row off the camera. So now I'm going to finish this round off the camera and we'll show you how it looks at the end of this round. At the end of this row, we want to join our work using a slip stitch. So just make sure to connect it to the very first single crochet that we had here. Well, our first round is done, and for the second round we want to attach our next color. So I just undo my last stitches because I want to connect the blue yarn here. So just go again with your previous yarn and get the yarn on the hook, but don't finish your stitch. Keep 2 of those on the hook and add your blue yarn here. Just make sure to keep a longer tail and work it and weave it as you continue. So just like this, we attached our blue color here. To start, we are going to add 1 single crochet, 1 double crochet to the very first stitch that we have in here, just like this. Make sure that your yarn are tightened enough at the back, so your work is not looking loose. Then when you're done with your first cluster, skip the double crochet and only work on single crochets all the time. I'm trying to weave in the blue color, the blue yarn here as well. So one single crochet, one double crochet, again to the same stitch. Make sure not to include the maroon yarn because you want to work on that next round. Only remember, skip the double crochets always and work on single crochets here. So we're skipping the double crochet and we're adding one single crochet and one double crochet on top of the single crochet from the previous round. Well, this would be our work for this round. Continue adding one single crochet, one double crochet on top of single crochets from previous row, and keep repeating until you're done with this round. At the end of the row, finish your work with again one slip stitch to the very first single crochet that we had in here. Keep the two loop on your hook and change your color. Grab the other yarn and finish it with that one. So now we again have our first color on the hook. Start with the same pattern, one single crochet, one double crochet to the very first stitch. Same as round before, we are skipping double crochets and we are working on top of single crochets from the previous round. And on each single crochet, we are adding one single crochet and one double crochet again. So this would be our pattern all this round. Keep continuing the same pattern and keep changing your color. Here, as you can see, I added a few rounds. Up to now, my total work is 7 inches, including the ribbon, and which is 19 rows with my yarn. So this length is still not enough for a slouchy hat, If you want to, the size of the hat, of course it depends on your taste, but if you want to have a slouchy hat, at least you need 2 more inches. Okay, again I added a few more rows. I'm at almost 9 inches. I'll add a few more rows off camera to reach the exact 9 inches for myself, but you can continue adding more rows if you want a longer slouchy. Okay, I'm good now, and I want to start to decrease the top of my hat. So start as always 1 single and 1 double crochet to the very first stitch. Add 3 sets of clusters of single and double crochets, and then we want to join 2 next stitches with 2 double crochets together. So as you can see here, I've added 1 double crochet in my next stitch, kept the 2 loops on the hook, and added another double crochet, and at the end pull through all the 3 loops together. Continue with the same pattern. Add 3 clusters of single crochet and double crochets in your next 3 stitches, which I mean on top of your 3 next single crochets from past row. With this method, we are going to decrease 11 stitches from our first round. When you added 3 sets of single crochets and double crochets, double crochet 2 stitches together. Continue with the same pattern for this round. 3 sets of clusters and then 2 double crochets together. This is the end of this our first round of decreases. As you can see, we've now can see how edges are curled inside. For next round, I started as usual with 1 single crochet and 1 double crochet in the same stitch. I've added 1 more single and double crochet cluster here. When you reached the previous 2 double crochets that you joined together, which I highlighted with marker in here, just skip that single crochet. So I skipped the first single crochet and I added my next clusters in the next stitch. So simply this round we are keeping our usual methods, usual pattern, but when you reach the 2 double crochets from the past row, just skip them. This is the end of our second round of decreases. For next round, start as usual 1 single crochet and 1 double crochet to our very first stitch. Then add another cluster of single and double crochet. And now we want to double crochet the next 2 stitches together. So for this round, we're going to have 2 sets of clusters of single and double crochet, and then we will double crochet 2 stitches together. Continue the same pattern to finish this round. This is the look at the end of this round. For the next round of the creases, I'll start as usual, 1 single crochet, 1 double crochet, and then again when you reach the set of double crochet from previous round, just skip them. So we are skipping this one, and we are adding our next cluster to the next stitch. This would be our pattern for this round. When you're reaching the double crochet sets from last row, we're skipping it. Start your next round as usual, 1 single crochet and 1 double crochet. And then we want to double crochet the next 2 stitches together. So our repeat for this round would be 1 cluster of single crochet and double crochet, and then 2 double crochet for the next 2 stitches together. So we just want to start our final round. For the final round, we are going to add only clusters of double crochet. So we are attaching or joining 2 stitches together using double crochets. So this time when we want to start, we are starting with a double crochet. So yarn over once and add a double crochet in your first stitch. Keep the last 2 loops on your hook and add another double crochet in your next stitch and join them together just like this. Keep repeating the same pattern and double crochet 2 next stitches together. As always, we are still working on top of single crochets from the last row. And here is our last stitches. At the end, we are going to connect the last and first double crochets together using a slip stitch. And now we're done. So here how it looks at the end of the project. This is the top of your hat. The only things that is still needed is to cut your yarn. Keep a longer tail just to weave in the yarns in the inside of your hat. I'll pull through the yarns towards the inside of my hat, and then I will weave them in to make the end of the work tighten. This is how it looks at the end of the project. Thank you so much for watching this tutorial with me, and please like and subscribe and comment if you have any questions.